In Tracy, California, a small town gripped by fear, a young girl named Sandra Renee Cantu captured the nation's attention. It was March 27, 2009, when 8-year-old Sandra vanished without a trace, leaving her family and community in shock and despair. Sandra lived with her mother, grandparents, and 3 older siblings in the peaceful Orchard Estates mobile home park. She was a bright 2nd-grade student at Melville S. Jacobson Elementary School, known for her playful and adventurous spirit. On that fateful Friday, Sandra played at a friend's house after school, returning home around 4 p.m. But then, she decided to visit another friend, bidding her family goodbye for what they thought would be a short playdate. Little did they know that this innocent goodbye would be the last time they would see Sandra alive. As the hours passed, Sandra failed to return for dinner. Panic settled in, and her family reported her missing to the local police at 7:53 p.m. The community rallied together, determined to find the young girl. The search began, and the whole town held its breath, hoping for her safe return. Police collected surveillance footage from a camera near Sandra's home. The nation watched as the heartbreaking image of Sandra crossing the street in front of her house played on news stations. The community joined forces, combing through the mobile home complex, desperate to find any clue about Sandra's whereabouts. The FBI was called in to assist with the investigation, intensifying the search. Days turned into a week, and still no sign of Sandra. The authorities brought in police dogs, equestrian teams, all-terrain vehicles, and even a helicopter from the California Highway Patrol. The community offered a reward of $22,000, hoping it would lead to the breakthrough they desperately needed. In the midst of the search, a disturbing suspect emerged. A local man who had been seen kissing Sandra on the lips 2 years earlier at a swimming pool became a person of interest. However, after thorough investigation, he was cleared of any involvement in Sandra's disappearance. The community remained on edge, unsure of who could be responsible for such a heinous act. Then, on April 6th, a shocking discovery shattered the hopes of finding Sandra alive. During routine draining of an irrigation pond, a suitcase containing Sandra's lifeless body was found. The autopsy revealed a horrifying truth. Sandra had been beaten, sexually abused, and smothered. The toxicology report indicated that she had also ingested a drug called alprazolam. As investigators absorbed this grim reality, their focus shifted towards Melissa Huckabee, a 28-year-old Sunday school teacher who lived in the same mobile home park as Sandra. Melissa's daughter happened to be friends with Sandra, which raised suspicion. An eerie set of coincidences surrounding Melissa began to unravel. On the day Sandra disappeared, Melissa sent a text message to Sandra's mother, claiming that something had been stolen from her earlier that day. She seemed strangely preoccupied with this detail. The following day, during a vigil for Sandra, Melissa approached the police and FBI agents, appearing distraught and claiming to have found a note. The note stated that Sandra was locked in a stolen suitcase and thrown into the water at a specific location. Melissa's behavior, coupled with her troubled mental health history, including borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia, made investigators take a closer look. The police received another lead from a retired U.S. Marine and his wife, who reported seeing Melissa and her SUV near the irrigation pond where Sandra's body was found. The witnesses recognized Melissa from the television and described her as distracted and hurried during their encounter. As investigators dug deeper, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Surveillance footage from Sandra's home showed her walking towards Melissa's residence on the day she vanished. Melissa's SUV was captured driving in the opposite direction just 8 minutes later. At that precise moment, Melissa called the trailer park manager, reporting the theft of a suitcase from her trailer. The footage continued to reveal Melissa leaving and returning to the church where she taught Sunday school, all within the time frame when she was spotted near the irrigation pond. The evidence continued to mount against Melissa when FBI agents searched the church and discovered a rolling pin in the kitchen. The rolling pin had a bloody smudge and a bent handle, and it tested positive for Sandra's DNA. On April 10, 2009, Melissa Huckabee was arrested and charged with the kidnapping and murder of Sandra Cantu. In a plea bargain to avoid the death penalty, Melissa pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and kidnapping, ultimately receiving a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. During her sentencing, Melissa expressed her inability to comprehend her own actions and the eternal struggle she would face trying to understand why she did what she did. The prosecutor speculated that she committed this heinous act for attention. The tragic story of Sandra Cantu and Melissa Huckabee captured the attention of the nation, becoming a haunting tale of innocence lost and a community forever changed. The shocking case served as the inspiration for an episode of Law & Order, SVU, titled Totem, as well as being featured on the true crime shows Deadly Women and See No Evil. It serves as a grim reminder that evil can lurk even in the most unsuspecting places, leaving us with unanswered questions and a profound sense of loss.